What's up, chefs? Welcome back. This week I'm in the test kitchen again. I am testing out one of my favorite foods of all time, one of those foods that I could never ever live without, and that is noodles. There are limitless variations of what you can do with the different types of noodles that are out there, depending on the region, the country, whatever. There's just so many different ways to make noodles and prepare them. And so I really hope you enjoy noodles, because if you do, you're really gonna love this one. So let's get started. In the test kitchen today, I'm going to be attempting to make slap noodles, or Biang Biang Noodles, and the basic version of this dish just uses thick and wide hand-ripped noodles drizzled with tons of hot chili oil, chili flakes, and soy sauce-based seasoning, and you can top it with literally anything you have in your fridge. The sky's the limit with this dish. For the first attempt for these noodles, I'm going to be using bread flour because bread flour has a very high gluten content, which is going to make our dough nice and stretchy, and that's kind of what we want for slap noodles. I'm also going to be adding salt, about a tablespoon of oil, and of course our water. Now that we have our dough measured out, we're going to start mixing by hand. We're going to keep mixing until our dough comes together, and we're going to use the dough to clean off as much as we can from the sides of the bowl. As soon as our dough comes together in a nice ball, we're going to take it out of the bowl and start kneading it on the table. So the first attempt for this dough came out a little too wet and a little too soft, so I'm going to keep adding flour until I get that proper consistency that I'm looking for. Now that our dough is rested, we're going to take it out, we're going to roll it into a really nice long log, and we're going to cut it into equally sized pieces so we can shape those, which will eventually become our slap noodles. As you guys can see, I did not get any good noodles out of this dough, and that's because I made the choice to use the bread flour. And because of that very high gluten content, every time I tried to pull these noodles apart, they would just snap back, and that's not what you want. Slap noodles are supposed to be very, very long. I just wasn't making that happen. But the dough itself wasn't terrible, and I didn't want to waste it, so I decided to roll it all up, let that gluten relax overnight, and I would try something different the next day. So I know I'm about to commit so many different noodle making sins by not only rolling it out like pasta, but also then cutting it before you're supposed to. The really long noodles represent longevity of life, and by cutting that, you're cutting your life short, so I would even risk it. Well, I didn't want to waste this dough. I decided to just do what I could with it by making Biang Biang noodles the only way I knew how to see if it would come out. So I apologize in advance, but the noodles came out really great and everything tasted really awesome. So as you can see, I'm dropping my noodles into some boiling water that has a little bit of soy sauce in it. That's why it's so dark. And as soon as they're done, about a minute, I'm taking them out and putting them in some ice cold water. That's going to stop them from cooking and cooling them off. Then I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of sesame oil so they don't stick together. While you're getting your bowls ready, make sure you have a pot of oil on the stove getting nice and hot. You want about 4 ounces of oil per bowl of noodles. You want that oil to get nice and hot, just about smoking. You're going to pour that over your bowl of noodles to get everything really smoky hot.
That much oil? Yeah, man. Stir it up, man.
So for the second attempt for this dough, I'm going to be just using regular AP flour, salt, and water. The only difference is I'm going to be adding the water in stages, and once the dough comes together, I knead it for a minute or two. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for 20 minutes. Now that our dough is properly rested, we're going to go ahead and shape it into a nice log. We're going to cut that log into equal sized portions. We're going to take each of those portions and shape those into nice little sausage links. And then we're going to give those links a nice coat of oil. We're going to wrap it and let it rest one more time for about 60 to 90 more minutes before we start making our noodles. Now it's finally the fun part. We actually get to make the noodles. We're going to roll them out just slightly with a rolling pin, press down the center with a chopstick or something similar, grab both ends firmly. You're going to start slapping against the table and pulling apart to get a nice long noodle. When your noodle is nice and long, you're going to find that indentation in the center and pull it apart. Traditionally, you just want to break one end so you have a very nice long noodle, but that is generally how you make slap noodles. And I am just doing this for the first time. I am no expert by any means. I am committing yet another noodle sin. These noodles are supposed to go directly into a pot once they are shaped because you want these noodles to come out as fresh as possible. But if you let them sit out and do them all at once too, that's okay. have it, guys. As you can see, I'm not quite a master at making noodles yet, but I am on my way there, and I'm going to keep practicing, and I'm going to get better at it. Because noodles are so great, it's hard not to want to have it. It's just like making fresh pasta at home. It's just so much better when you do it yourself. Don't forget to check out my website for all the recipes from all of my videos. And if you're getting really good value out of these videos, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss out on any of my future videos and all the great content that comes along with them. And please share these videos with whoever you know. I don't care if you like them or not, just share these videos. It really helps me out and helps my channel grow. But above all else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, chefs.